Pre-recorded from my garage, it's the show that didn't cry when the 49ers lost the Super Bowl. Not even a little bit. It's SPL Live. Today, Dylan Brandow and Carlo DeCastro are neck and neck. Which trainer has what it takes to outlast the other? Meanwhile, have we been overlooking the Prince? Henry Thompson storms back into the mix, currently sitting in 4th place as we come down the stretch. And finally, the segment that keeps the show afloat, the one that keeps everybody talking week in and week out, it's T's Tears. T, you and the committee, hard at work this past week. Have anything you want to share with us?
This one's gonna be a little bit different. I think everybody will like it.
A little different. Oh gosh. All right, we start with Carlo and Dylan, both who have started to break away from the pack as both trainers are tied at 66 points heading into week 8, with Dylan having the slight edge when it comes to a better winning percentage. Carlo, we talked to him over this past weekend. He gave us this quote. I'm happy for Dylan. He's had an incredible season so far, only playing at Fire and Ice. I'll tell you this, though. Once the playoffs start and everyone has a chance to see who the contenders and the pretenders are, I'm not trying to say that they ain't got no good players up there at Fire and Ice, because they do. But we'll see what's up. Now, this is tough talk coming from Carlo, but he can say it because, he's one of the top trainers.
He's right there.
Yeah, up there right now. But T, who do you have the more confidence in heading into week 8 between Dylan and Carlo?
I mean, that was a bold statement from Carlo. I might have to give it to him after that one. But right now, my pick is Dylan. Dylan's, still trying to prove that he is the better brother of the two. Him sitting at first gives him a slight edge in that debate, in my opinion.
Okay.
But I think Dylan can last. He's been at the top since the beginning of the season. It was literally him and David. Now it's him and Carlo, and I think he can keep it all the way.
All right. See, and this is my thing. I love Dylan. I have a lot of respect for him. I don't necessarily believe that he's been the better Brandow so far this season, even though he is sitting in first place while Luke is sitting in third. And I kind of tend to agree with what Carlo's saying about Fire and Ice. Not saying that they don't have good players up there. We've seen Gervin play up there. We see Dan, Nick Gleason, a lot of them. But there was something to be said when Dylan and Luke and them came down to play at the midseason showdown. And Dylan didn't have the best performance that day. I believe he wound up, he was pretty mid for the most part. Lost to his brother. And then I think he wound up losing a trainer battle as well that day. To Carlo. So I'm not saying that Dylan doesn't have what it takes to do really well, but I do have faith in Carlo, be it that he's someone that travels around a lot more, sees a lot more competition throughout the league, and I have faith in what he does. Plus, he's a very, very good Guardy player, which is really, really funny. I don't know if he's necessarily playing that as consistent as he was a couple of weeks ago when I was showing up to the shops, but for the most part, I feel like, given that I think Luke is playing better right now than Dylan, I have to give it to Carlo. I feel like it's more of a matter of time before Dylan trips up and either Luke or Carlo take their spot. And once again, this is all kind of relative, because at the end of the season, we're going to calculate everybody's lowest 2 weeks and drop those. And people have to kind of take into consideration that there's going to be some pretty big differences when the playoffs are around. So everybody remember that at the end of the season, two lowest weeks are dropping. And that could be pretty devastating for any of them. I mean, at this point, I think Mike, Luke, Henry, and a few other ones are going to be sitting there looking really, really nice. Where this might not even necessarily be the top 2 seeds heading into the playoffs. So, I think for me, it's going to be Carlo right now. Just because I feel like he's seeing really, really top tier competition at USG, at CCC, at Adventure, and some of the other places that he's playing at.
Tying with, one of the fastest decks on the format, but we don't talk about those things.
He did tie with one of the fastest. What was he playing?
Inte Iron Valiant.
And he was going up against?
Roaring Moon.
Who's playing Roaring Moon?
Lestrap.
Lestrap. From what I know about Lestrap likes to tie a lot.
So
Something
does Carlo. So he had the right opponent for it.
Yeah, but Carlo has tied 5 times so far this season, which is the most in the league, only tied with Emmanuel Cruz and Mercedes. Mercedes also ties a good amount throughout the season. So I could definitely understand that, but Lestrap isn't someone that's shy from tying, even though he only has 2. I've been to a couple of events where he ties a good amount. But either way, guys, what we'll do is that's going to go ahead and end this segment. After the break, has the prince we've been promised finally arrived? Next on SPL Live. Welcome back to the show. Now, way back in Season 1 of SPL, we saw the rise of a young child who duked it out with the best of us to become the first ever SPL League champion after defeating Chris Davis in the finals. I think he was using Palkia at the time. Chris Davis was using Palkia Ice Rider. Yeah. That child's name was Henry Thompson.
It was?
Right? Since that magical first season, that magical run where he caught a lot of people off guard, I don't think many people actually knew what to expect from Henry heading into that first season. Henry has been unable to recapture that magic and reclaim his crown. Can this season be different for this youngin, T? Henry currently sits in 4th place. He has 58 points on the season, 21 wins. As someone who's had kind of like a front row seat in Henry's development as a Pokemon trainer, used to go to Davis Cards a lot more. We used to see Henry over here a lot more. Are you surprised by Henry's performance so late during this season compared to what we've seen the past couple of seasons?
I'm actually really surprised by Henry's performance. Not to say that I don't expect him to do well, but on top of, playing in SPL, he's traveled to like almost every regionals this season.
Yeah.
And he went to LAIC. He's going to EUIC. And the kid has performed well across the globe, and then still came back to go to locals and perform well at SPL. So, maybe it is his time to shine. He's grown a lot as a player. Yeah, maybe.
See, and I don't want to say that I'm not surprised. Henry drives me crazy to play against. I hate the way he hand shovels. I hate his board state.
Plays too fast.
He plays too fast sometimes.
Got a prize penalty at the League Cup over the weekend.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Henry is one of the better, if not top, like 4 or 5 trainers that I know of in Sacramento. And this includes groups of people like Gabe, like Mike, and so many other ones that have been so good. And Henry has done great in the seniors division. So I think from there, I'm not surprised. I can agree with you, though, that Henry, there's only so much bandwidth someone can have, and Henry plays a lot of cards. Not just here, but like T said, he's practically been to every regionals. He has one of the best supportive mothers that I've ever met. And Val, you're wonderful. And the fact is that he travels so much, he does so much, yet he still comes here and he handles business. I think that is the more surprising. And I played Pokemon for like 2 years so now, or like in this environment, and I can tell you there are so many times where I'm burnt out just trying to get up and go to a local, and and this kid is doing so much. It's a huge salute to him and what he's able to accomplish, sitting in 4th place once again, knowing that he also has a couple weeks that are probably going to drop.
Yeah.
But they're probably already reflecting in those points.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that's super surprising. Henry didn't win the Points Cup the first season that he won the championship trophy. So that could be something that will be really nice to have on his mantle if he's able to get that done. But still, I'm not surprised, once again, by the level of play, but I am surprised by the consistency given that he's done so much over this past season, not just with SPL but also with Pokemon Pokemon tournaments,
Yeah,
regionals,
agreed.
things like that. Now, do you feel like Henry has what it takes to win it all this season for the second time in his SPL career?
Absolutely not.
No?
Nope, absolutely not. And again, that's not a knock to Henry. I just think, the competition right now is a little bit better. You know, Carlo made that comment about, fire and ice, and that is where Henry has primarily been playing at. So, just like the slight towards the Brandos, the same could be said for Henry. Maybe the competition's a little too easy for him there.
See, and this is where I'm also, once again, going to have to disagree with you. And I'm a firm believer in a Henry's skill set, primarily because even back in the first season, when Henry was getting the benefit of playing nothing but seniors, and a lot of shops would actually just set him up against seniors,
Yeah.
he never played any of the. Henry was still able to do so well in that first playoff that we had.
That's true.
He was able to pull it together. Once again, the kid maybe not necessarily be playing the best of the competition that we have, but I still feel like he has all of the skills necessary to be competitive. Now, of course, this is all going to matter. I think for a lot of the trainers, there's only a handful of trainers in the league that you could sit down and go, regardless of the matchup, they're going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we put Mike there, Will Hildebrandt, probably maybe Dylan, Carlo. I don't know necessarily yet. I would throw maybe Audrey in that group for sure. But then I feel like some of the other ones, it's really going to be dependent on what decks they're playing and what their competition is. Batista, for instance.
Yeah.
I feel like Henry would be in that group where regardless of who he plays, I would have confidence in Henry given his track record, not only with SPL, but with just his experience in Pokemon as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I feel like Henry does have what it takes to win his second title, and I would be a huge fan if that was the case.
I'm just going to say, the other reason that I don't think Henry is going to pull it off this season is because Isaac is still in the running.
Isaac is still in the running.
Isaac
Tends to be a little bit of Henry's kryptonite, right?
Yeah.
The last time I remember seeing them play, it was at Adventures, and it was a while ago. And Isaac really kind of took it to Henry.
Oh, yeah. Isaac beat Henry this weekend at the League Cup, too. Just wanted to throw that one out there. Play slower. Pay attention.
The nice thing, though, is based off of the bracket and what we're looking at, even if the season was to end today, I don't believe Henry is going to be looking at playing Isaac right now, given the fact that Isaac is 8th, Henry is 4th. And we could pull up the bracket right now, and we see some of the matchups. Henry is scheduled or slated right now to play Terry, who's 13th. I think that would be a really interesting matchup. Terry's an incredible player in his own right. Isaac would sit there against Audrey. And I think that one's a
two of my picks going against each other.
Yeah, so, I mean, Mike Moreno versus Farnlocker is going to be something funny, too. But you have one of the more experienced players in general going up against one of the least experienced, but someone that's having a very solid season. But going back to Henry, this is where I look at it and I go, even though I believe in Terry, and I'm a fan of Terry, I love the guy, I still feel like Henry has the edge. Mm-hmm. And if this was what his bracket was to look like and his path, I would feel confident putting money on Henry to pull it out. And that's just me. I mean, we'll get the betting odds up eventually as we head towards the end of the season. But this is kind of where we're at with it. Yeah. So you're saying at this point you just don't feel like Henry has the juice.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
I feel like there's too much in his way, and he can't get through it.
Henry, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Henry. I believe in you. 10 toes down. 10 toes down in the screen, cheering for Henry. But we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this one up as well. Next up, we have T's Tiers, so stay tuned. Toot toot. Well, it's 10 o'clock on Wednesday. No, Thursday. Thursday night, 10 o'clock, which means you're in for a treat. Late last night, while digging through the dark web for information regarding the plot for Madam Web Part 2, a select group of scholars, scientists, and experts in the color blue met at the IHOP off of Arden for an all-you-can-eat pancake special to argue and bicker and burn the candle at both ends to give us the best segment that we can steal. It's time for T's Tears. T, take it away.
I can't every time. All right. This week, Tears will switch up to something a little different. If you can guess the theme of the Tears in the comments, I'll throw you a free code.
More than that.
Yeah.
You get like what?
2 codes.
20 codes.
I have 20 codes. Actually, you know what? 20 codes.
If you can guess the theme in the comments, first person, 20 code cards.
There we go. All right. For the first tier, Unexpected Journey, we have our very own Anthony Mariona, Ziad Cal, Goose, Pang, and Alex, who have all taken an unexpected journey away from locals. So, that's all. Miss you, buddy.
Yes, you do.
In the second tier, we have our Desolation of Smog. In this tier...
That should give it away right there.
In this tier, we have Dan the Man, Eli, Zeke, Mercedes, and Caitlin, Michael Lestrap, and Anthony Henderson. All good names. Nothing wrong. Tier 3, The Fellowship of the Ring. We have Vince, Terry, Francis Matrillo, Nick Gleason, E-Man,
yeah,
Andrew Saldana, everybody knows that guy, Farnlocker,
nice,
and Francis Batista. Really? All right. What about this one?
Go on.
The Two Towers.
Oh, this is top tier.
Top tier. We have Cody Bishop,
Good kid.
Corey Lafferton,
Love that guy.
Will Hildebrandt,
Yeah, I know him. He's cool.
David Gervin.
Not bad. Fell off.
Just a little bit.
Pretender? Or contender?
Ooh. Henry Thompson.
Contender.
Luke Brandow.
Pretender?
Maybe. Carlo DeCastro.
Contender.
And then last but not least.
Oh, there's a tier above that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Missing a couple people.
Return of the King.
I like it.
We have Audrey.
Contender.
Mike Moreno.
Contender.
There we go. Isaac. And Dylan.
I don't know about those last two.
You don't know about those last two? I'm saying. Isaac, you already knew what's coming.
All right. So I'll say this. For the most part, love the theme. I know what the theme is. It's a good theme. It's definitely a good theme. But probably one of the better themes. Outside of that, though, I feel like the tiers for the most part are pretty straightforward. I will say, based off of this week's performance, I feel like Lestrap, Michael needs to be bumped up one tier. Desolation of Smog, I understand where you're coming from with it, but I feel like based off of him being able to top CCC, which is actually probably one of the more competitive locals that we have running right now, given the fact that a lot of the other ones don't really have as many people as consistent. There you have so much variety and so many things. It's not an easy place to win at.
Yeah.
Coming in first place there is not too bad.
That's true.
And I feel like maybe for this week, I would bump him up to Fellowship. I feel like that would be the right spot for him. Outside of that, I would say the thing that you got right, finally adding a regulation And I know he didn't say regulation, but 100% regulation, unexpected journey. Me, Z, Goose, Pang, and Alex Gross. The fact is, I haven't been able to play as much as I wanted to this season due to some unforeseen events happening. And then some of the other guys just aren't showing up in general. Thank you for the support, though. We still love you.
Yeah.
And Alex Gross has been busy. So, like, the fact is, even though it's not regulation and you're not saying regulation, it's 100% regulation. But I'm happy it's there. Because the players that have been competing on a regular basis shouldn't be in the same group as the people that haven't been. And I respect them too much as trainers to say, you guys are just or you guys are on the same level as the people that don't even play right now. Felt like that needed to change. So that's my thing. Other than that, I feel like the committee did a pretty good job for the most part. Only 4 in the top tier.
Only 4.
That's you're kind of narrowing it down pretty so. I can't wait for you to see who's the only one that lasts in that tier
I can't wait
for the end. But with that, coming up next, it's T's weekly trainer medals. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Mr. Beast requested that we shut down our channel over this past week due to us gaining on him with subscribers, so keep up the good work. T, it's medal time.
Hey. All right, so for my bronze medal this week, we have Dylan Brandow. Dylan Brandow got 12 points this week, putting him at the top of the mountain in first place. Him and Carlo are tied in points, but the differential, kind of got him there. So Dylan, congrats on, sliding up in there.
Huge win in trainer battle too.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing that got him to the top. He wound up finishing the week only player with 12 points due to a trainer battle.
There we go.
For him. So that was a very, very big week to jump back up into the top spot.
Just what he needed too.
Yeah.
All right. Silver medal. Corey Lafferton.
My boy.
Corey did something I want to say amazing this week, and is he won a locals with a 5-way tie for first.
Yeah.
Everyone went 2-0-2, tying for first place, but Corey, with the percentages, squeaked his way to the top.
My guy.
These are things you just don't see happen that often in the community. I gotta give it to my guy. He beat the better players there.
Saying that's the sad thing is I don't know if Corey's gonna be able to make it into the top 14, but damn if he did. Woo! That would have been fun. That would have been a fun. I don't know. What is it? 26 points needs to get to 43.
He can get there. I think he can get there.
We'll see. Corey, if you can, you're my number 1 pick, Papa.
Yeah.
That's you're my Will Hildebrandt. You're my Mike Moreno. You're my Isaac Jung. That's my guy. If not, then I got E-Man and I love Terry. Vince is dope too. Oh damn!
There's so many.
This is gonna be so hard. It's gonna be so hard betting on everybody when we get to it. All right, who's your gold?
All right, my gold medal for this week. I know it's a surprise. We had him kind of low on the tier list.
Shut up! You didn't do it.
Michael Estrada.
Whoa!
Michael went 301 at Command Center. I don't know if this is his first tournament win, but
did he know he won?
He knows he won.
Oh shoot!
He was there.
Mike.
I don't know if this was his first tournament win, but if it is, even more congrats.
Double guns for you, buddy.
It takes a lot to get first place, and congrats to you, bud.
Hey, congratulations, Mike. Honestly, I was, based off of where you put him on the tiers, I wasn't really expecting him to be gold, but good for you. Good for Mike. Mike, good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Not Mike Moreno. Mike Lestrap, the real Mike, the one that we all care about. All right, so to wrap up the show, guys, we finally got our stickers in, SPL stickers. I'll probably put them up on the screen. If not, here's me holding it. When you see T, ask him for them. He'll have them. I already took one of mine, but there's a good amount of them, so we should be fine giving them out to whoever.
Yeah.
But really cute little stickers that you could put on your stuff.
Really
we still got a couple other things that we're running off of, or we're waiting to get as well. But for now, that's the show for today. We'll catch you all again next week, Thursday or Friday. Oh no, scratch that. I am in Mexico next week,
in Mexico
so there will
next
be
week.
no SPL live video for next week. Please, if you want the video, bother T. Let him know. Have somebody else shoot it.
I'll try to put out some other content, but there probably won't be an SPL live.
Maybe you could get fan favorite Ryan Massey to come back and host one actual video.
One time for the one time.
Yeah, doubt it, but that would be really, really great because everybody that knows Ryan loves Ryan. If you don't know Ryan or you don't love Ryan, you suck.
Yeah, you're wrong.
It's pretty much that happens. People are wrong sometimes. But Ryan, we love you. Shout out if you ever see this. He probably doesn't. But with that, yes, guys, this is it for today. If I don't see you again next week, which I'm not going to, T might, we will see you all at locals.
This is
Peace.